Hey there everyone, this is Jessica from DomesticatedMe.com. Today's video is something a little different. I have gone through maybe one mishap with my bags several years ago. It was the Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the ECAT. It was that collection that had the dark blue leather trim, the light pink leather trim, and then a fuchsia leather trim to the bag. I had the blue and I love that bag so much. I used it so much. I use it all the time. And then I had it in the dust bag. I kept it in my dust bag when I would not wear it. And then one day I pulled the bag out and I noticed that the leather straps had sort of melted onto the bag. So I pulled one of the straps off the canvas and it left that blue residue on the canvas, and then the other one had left residue on the dust bag. I brought it into Louis and I said, my bag's melting, can you help me out? So they took it and said they were going to look into it and let me know, and then ultimately they told me that they could not repair the bag and I was given credit to purchase another bag. And that's actually how I wound up getting my backpack in the monogram eclipse. When that happened, I made a video talking all about that. I will link to it down below and here as well, in case you're interested in watching that. But I was so disappointed when that happened because I really loved that bag. I love that it was a Neverfull. I'm a limited edition person. I love limited edition. If you tell me something's limited edition, my heart starts to beat just a little faster. And I get that from my mom. She always loved things that were a little different, something that not everyone has, and Neverfull is a very popular bag, especially here in New York. We tend to carry a lot of stuff. So here in New York, it is kind of a common bag. You see it a lot because it's a good bag for a New Yorker to carry on while they're going to work, carrying stuff on the subway, etc., etc. So I really loved the Neverfull, but I loved it because it was limited edition and different and not the bag that you would typically see around in New York City. I did wind up getting another Neverfull a couple of years later. That is the Tahitian one. I got that from Fashionphile. I don't think I've actually ever discussed that bag on my channel. I never did an unboxing for it. Maybe it's time I do like a little review, wear and tear kind of video. Let me know if you're interested in that in the comment section below. So anyway, I guess this is now my second time having an issue with a Louis bag. I purchased this bag many years ago. I think it's one of my first videos on YouTube that had to do with handbags and designer fashion. So I've had this bag for many years. Unfortunately, like a lot of my bags, I didn't use it very often, and I haven't used it like many bags over the last couple of years because I'm not going out, I'm not going to events. It hasn't been a need for me to wear it. But as I mentioned in my videos in the beginning of the year, I am going through like a purge. I am trying to, number one, make sure that I'm not holding on to things that are not serving me at the moment, that can maybe be rehomed to someone else who will love and use those items. And another thing that happened at the end of last year was that I was getting some work done in my apartment, and that is the reason why I had to put a lot of my bags, most of my collection in storage. And then in the beginning of this year, when we were home after the holidays, I brought those bags. When I purchased this bag, it was a very pretty, like a baby pink. And I did notice over the years that the pink kind of dulled a little bit, it was such a slow process that I just didn't notice, and I didn't know if I was just imagining it. But after not using the bag, having it in storage for a while, and then opening that bag up and then looking at it again, I was like, oh no, this is a completely different bag. All right, so let me go ahead and show you. This, as you can see right here from the label, is an Alma BB, and I bought it in Rose Angelique. Rose Angelique was the pretty light pink that came out before Rose Ballerine, which was a huge color for the brand. It's a color that they've used over and over again, but this came out before that. So before Rose Ballerine, it was Rose Angelique, and it was a very pretty light pale pink. Again, I was rearranging my bags, getting my bags out of storage, and I open it up and I pull this out, and this is what I see. So even on camera, you can tell this bag is no longer pink at all. At the beginning of the year, I mentioned that I wanted to get a beige bag, and I don't have to anymore because I now own a beige bag. It's looking a little yellow on camera, but it's Up close in person, I would say it's beige. Now again, on camera, it does look like the color is uneven, sort of like spotty, but in person it's actually not. Thankfully, the color has changed evenly throughout the bag. It's not like it has weird color spots or ombre-ish. You know, it's an even beige that happened to the leather all over. Again, I did notice the color was changing a little bit, but I kind of, because it was such a slow process and because I was seeing it every day, I kind of didn't know if it was like my imagination, am I seeing it? But then I look back at my photos, my old photos of this bag, and it's a stark change. And then the thing that really confirmed the change color is that this is still the original pink, and the interior as well. Let me just open it up for you to see. So here is the pink. So you can see the interior, this lining of the zipper is very clearly pink while the bag is no longer pink. It's definitely just a beige. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Jessica Flores and I am a lifestyle creator. I create content about fashion, beauty, DIY projects, home decor, luxury, family travel, and so much more. If any of those topics interest you, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell icon next to the subscribe button so you can set your notifications on for all. I make new videos every week, but I don't have a set schedule, so if you have your notifications on, you won't miss a thing. You know, patent leather does change colors if it's a light one. I just didn't realize how much. Now, I'm a big fan of patent leather shoes, but mainly I buy them in black, so I didn't really know that that's something that can happen with patent leather, or how drastic the color change can be. Again, because all the patent leather that I own tends to be black. Most of the stuff I own is black anyway. I didn't notice that, and I didn't realize that something happened last year. I had a pair of like cream Prada patent leather shoes that I just never wore. So I listed it on Poshmark, took all the photos for it, created the listing for it, and then I put the shoes in their dust bag and in their shoe box, and I put them in storage. And then eventually, after like months, they finally sold. And when I went to take the shoes out to ship it, they had turned yellow. It was like a pale yellow, buttery yellow, a nice like pale pastel yellow. So I reached out to the buyer and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, but the color changed. This is what they look like now. They were still perfect for spring and summer, which is when that person purchased the shoes. So she was like, no, I still love them, so please send them to me. So I'm so glad that that worked out. But I just, again, because I don't buy light colored items very often, and especially not light colored patent leather, I just didn't realize how common that was. I'm gonna be honest and say this color change, I'm not mad at it. I'm really not. I mentioned that I wanted like a beige bag, a neutral bag, and now I have it. Am I sad to not have a pink bag anymore? Not really. I think I'm starting to like grow out of my love for pinks. I just don't wear it very often. I'm mostly in black, so I do like having a little pop of color, but this is now such a beautiful neutral color that I could wear it anywhere and with just about anything. So I'm not mad at the change color. I'm not upset about it. This bag, I purchased this like, must be like 10 years ago. So I'm sure that if I was upset about it and I went to Louis Vuitton, there's not much that they would do for me, because this is just something that happens to this type of leather. I'm calling it patent leather, but it's their vernis. But it's something to think about when you see these bags come out in those pale colors. I did hear that their leathers are different, that they're like the Vachetta leather. Before, you couldn't get a drop of water on it because it would stain and you would see it forever. You could see it. Now, apparently, their Vachetta leather doesn't do that anymore. I mentioned that when I purchased my denim pieces from the last collection. I put on the backpack and I had come out from outside where it started drizzling a little bit, and then I tried it on and remembered that my coat was a little wet, and I kind of like freaked out about it. And the wonderful sales associate at the Fifth Avenue store, Tina, she was like, oh no, don't worry about it. nothing's gonna happen to it. And so that's when I realized that their quality apparently has gotten better. At least the bags aren't as delicate as they used to be. So I don't know if their vernis now is better. I will say something about this bag too. Because it was a pale pink, I took it to Puerto Rico with me, and I used to baby the bag. I used to not want to wear it. I used to be very careful with what I would wear the bag with. And then I went on vacation and I wanted to take the bag with me to Puerto Rico, and I decided I'm gonna wear my bags. I'm not gonna baby them. What happens, happens. And I wore them with blue denim jeans, and there was color transfer onto the bag. I remember clearly because I saw it and I was like, oh. And then I was like, I have to let this go. I'm gonna use my bags. Things are gonna happen. Color transfer is a thing, and I just have to deal with it. It's either baby the bag and rarely wear it, or enjoy the bag. Now that I look at the bag, that color transfer is gone. It's not there, and I've inspected it. It was like around here because it was rubbing against my denim shorts, but the color transfer is gone. So it's another like happy accident because the color transfer is gone, and now I have a nice pretty neutral. I don't think I need to replace my pink bag with another pink bag. I'm being much more conscious, much more intentional about my purchases and what I actually need versus want. And even with what I want, do I really want it? Anyway, so like I said, this was like a happy accident. I'm really happy with the bag now. I'm keeping it as is, and I'm gonna be using it. And if you look on the pre-love market, I'm very into vintage right now. I've always been, but like now much more so. I've been looking at old vernis bags, and the color changes are definitely a thing. So you can find a lot of vernis bags that are 10, 20 years older that the color has changed, and you can get it for really great prices. And I'm thinking about picking up one or two of those, but that's another conversation for another day. Just wanted to share this thing happening. Let me know. I'm curious to see how many of you have owned vernis bags and your bags have, the color has changed. If you were upset about the change, if you were fine with the change, let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. And as always, use that comment section below to ask any questions, make any requests, or just say hi, because you guys know that I love to hear from you. Click or tap right here to watch my last video, or click down below to watch another video that you might enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned.